Hi guys, this is Katie Boten, the president and founder of Certum Solutions here in Monroe, North Carolina, outside of Charlotte. And today we're going to talk about a really popular topic that we get, for lack of a better term, sales tax. What is it? How is it calculated? Is it different for each state we're in? And the answer is kind of simple, kind of complicated. It really depends on the situation. And as the popular saying goes, it depends. Before we get started on our sales tax video, if you could do me a favor, if you like this video itself, go ahead and like this video. That's your way of voting on what kind of videos we do next. If you like the kind of content we come out with from Certum Solutions, I would love if you could subscribe to our channel, because we love to support our clients, we love to support our viewers, and we love feeling that we're supported too, because these videos are like, you see this one, you haven't seen the 10 I already did. Okay, so we're gonna try this. I was telling somebody the other day, I am not a public speaker, do not like public speaking. I love YouTube because I get to control which one I come out with, and you don't see the bubbling idiot I was on every take before. So that all being said, total segue, let's get started. We are in our Certum Cubo advanced demo today, and I'm going to show you where the sales tax module is there. I will also show you where you can find your sales tax report in your Shopify for those of you that do e-commerce. For us here at Certum, if you don't use QuickBooks Online for your sales tax, most commonly we have clients that come to us with Shopify, either as a standalone or in conjunction with another accounting program, and they have to do some sales tax reporting from there. So I wanted to kill two birds, one stone, and go through some sales tax. What is sales tax? First off is something called a trust tax. You as the vendor or the merchant are not paying it. Your customer is paying it to you. You have a similar situation with withholding tax if you have employees. It is what's called a trust tax. Why? Because you are being trusted to take that money from the person and remit it to the government, okay? That can be the federal government at times. It can be your state government at times. But that money doesn't belong to you. It can get a little complicated when you're selling things on a platform like Shopify and you see maybe payment fees coming out of your deposits. If you don't know what that's coming from, some people may assume that it is sales tax that's being remitted. Shopify, unless you have a third-party add-on such as Avalara Sales Tax Management, which we work with and are partners, it's not going to remit your sales tax for you, and there's other third-party apps that do as well. Shopify, as just one selection, does not remit your sales tax for you unless you ask it to do so and configure it to do so with a third-party app. Moving on from there. So what will happen is Shopify or whatever platform you use, whether it's an in-person register or what have you, it's going to collect those funds for you and it's going to remit them to you. And then on a certain cadence set by each state entity, you're going to have to remit those taxes to them. There can be changes depending on the state on what is actually taxed. In some states, construction materials may not be taxed, whereas in other states they are. You have to know your sales tax guidelines for the state itself, and that's why companies like Avalara exist, because it can get complicated, especially in recent years. Let's go ahead and get started. When you're working with sales tax, no matter where you are, you need to make sure that your items are marked whether they are taxable or not. So if I'm in QuickBooks Online, I'm going to go to my product and services, and this is our demo version, by the way. And I'm going to go to my items. You see some of these are service items. In most cases, service items are not taxable by the state. Occasionally, if it's part of installation of another product, it might be. But again, those pamphlets the state will send you, or on your state website for your Department of Revenue, there's going to be tons of information on what is taxable and what is not. The other thing you're going to want to keep in mind is not every state has the same deadlines. It depends on how much tax you remit and other factors set by the institution. So you need to make sure that whether you are a bi-weekly, a monthly, a quarterly, a yearly filer, you need to know what those dates are. If you have trouble with any of this, please reach out to us here at Certum. That's what we're here to help with. So when I'm looking through my item list here, I notice one is non-inventory, and for the most part, that's an item. It says sales products. Let's pretend this is a widget or something that we need to charge sales tax on. I'm going to hit edit. And just to go over real quick, you may have inventory items or non-inventory items that may or may not be taxable. You may have service items that may or may not be taxable. Check with your personal advisors and accountants to determine the taxability of your items, or go to your state again and double check. So we're going to go through here. We're going to go down here. Now with QuickBooks, especially in QuickBooks Online Advanced, which is what we typically work with, you're going to see a handy dandy little section here called sales tax if you've turned it on. And you want to go ahead and hit edit sales tax. And it's going to say, is this taxable? This is the fantastic thing about QuickBooks. And this is why I love using QuickBooks Online. When you describe your service, so I'm going to put in widget. Let's see if widget will work. No results for widget. Let's see. Screw. Fastening items. Okay. So you need to double check it because like everything else, it's not always perfect, but you can always pick this and it will help you suggest the category it's in. Is it taxable or not? And so on. Okay. So I'm going to hit clear for now. I can select taxable based on location or non-taxable, whereas like it's just not a taxable item. For the taxable items, another thing you want to remember, okay? Taxability is typically not based on where you are. It is where your customer is, where the product is going to. So if I'm here in North Carolina and I'm shipping it to California, it's California that's going to be the state of the customer. And remember, this was a trust tax. So we're collecting it for them, right? So we're going to collect that tax from them and remit it to their state. In most cases, if a customer does not, or the end consumer does not pay the sales tax to the vendor, they're supposed to actually report it to their state themselves. So that being said, there's also something here at play called Nexus. And what is Nexus? It means, do you have enough of a presence in our state to where you actually have to remit the tax for this? Okay. And that's also going to vary by state. If you sell one item to one state and they say you have to make so many transactions before you remit sales tax to us, that's going to be non-taxable for your customers in that state. Okay. And again, it can get kind of complicated. So I really strongly suggest talking to your accountant or talking to your tax preparer or looking at the states where your customers are and where you are to make sure you understand the requirements around all these items we're talking about today. For the most part, most of our customers use a third-party sales tax software just because they will do a lot of this heavy lifting for you. But if you don't do a ton of volume or you just are like me and you kind of like doing reports and bookkeeping, you may choose to do it yourself, and there's nothing wrong with either one of those options. So that being said, we went in and we took a look at our sales tax settings. The next thing I want to go through is over here at taxes. There should be a section called taxes. There we are. You're going to have a sales tax piece. Just remember, this is a trust tax. You've now collected tax from your customer and you're holding on to it yourself, right? With QuickBooks, they even talk about economic nexus on the sales tax page, and they're going through your sales tax settings. So it's going to say, based on what you have entered, right? We went through how to enter these items and set them up as taxable or not. You can also double check the transaction as you're remitting or selling things to your clients. Per the information you entered as the user of this program, this is what it's saying is taxable. Now be really careful because it hinges on your input. You know, they have a saying, trash in, trash out. So if you're not paying attention to putting in shipping addresses, other things like that, paying attention to your sales tax settings, it may not be accurate. So make sure that all this is accurate. And then down here, it will say, this is what is due. Do you want to view your tax return? I can say that here in North Carolina, we have a very simple, streamlined system. You can go to the Department of Revenue and look up the sales tax setting, and you can file everything online. It's beautiful and amazing. I won't say that's the situation for every state, though. But the nice thing about QuickBooks, it's going to say, this is what you put in as your tax period. So for this, we've got it set up as a quarterly filing. It's going to say when it was due. This is a demo, so I promise we paid our taxes timely. You can run similar reports, your tax liability report and the rest of it. And again, double check things. Don't just take one report and say, this is what my sales tax is. Go look at your profit and loss. Look at your tax liability report. You always want to check things, especially when you're doing your taxes, against 2 or 3 different sources, just to look at it from all angles to make sure it's accurate. Once you pay it, you can hit record payment here, okay? Now, jumping over, I am not our Shopify expert. We have an amazing person on our team named Shopify Joe. That is his nickname. And he does Shopify all day long. But as part of this, we do have a lot of Shopify clients, and I wanted to make sure that I showed you where you can find those Shopify reports. Okay. So over here, I have put my prickly little demo because I don't know if you've seen my earlier video. I did a video on Shopify. People love to accidentally delete my demo environment, so I had to put some words there. If you need to look at your sales tax information, you just want to go down here to Analytics. You want to click on Reports, and then you're going to have sales tax reports down here. Now, ours is going to be empty because I don't use this a whole lot. But I want to show you where you go. I was just looking at it before we got on here. My eyes are blending together. Oh, let's see. Uh-oh. So the doggo is behind me falling asleep. I was just looking at it. What have I done? Taxes. United States sales tax. That's it. Why did I not see that? I don't know. So you're going to see here, there's no information for this report, but if you are a Shopify seller and you've set up your sales tax, that's where you'll go here. If you have Shopify connected to QuickBooks, solutions such as Webgility, a lot of those will bring your sales tax charges over so you have them in one place so that you have that record in both systems and your balance sheet is accurate. But when you are working with multiple platforms, you just want to make sure that you go through carefully and you report your sales tax and you report the payments for your sales tax so everything is accurate. I think that's it for today. I know I talked fast again. I do it. It's just how I am. I think I was an auctioneer in a past life. But if I talk too fast, please go ahead and go down to the corner and you can hit that I speak slower. And I think that's a great tool because I do the same thing. I'll watch people that do YouTube video. I did not go to school for video. I went to school for accounting. So just go ahead and ask it to just speak a little slower and pick the speed that you prefer. And I will not take it personally. Thank you so much for your patience today. If we can do anything here at Certum to help you with any questions around sales tax, Shopify, QuickBooks Online, the rest of it, always please feel free to reach out to us. Thanks again for watching. Thank you for your support. We are so excited to work with you and for future videos. Have a great day.